today's video is going to be kind of a holiday get ready with me for Christmas using the Odens Eye Merry Christmas palette. I've been using this palette pretty much every single day if I go out or if I'm working because I really have just been wanting to use this a bunch during the Christmas season. This was the only Christmas release that I picked up for this season. Besides, I think the Blend Bunny actually counted as their holiday palette. So those were the only two holiday palettes that I picked up. But I have not had time to film another look with this palette until literally today. I really have been wanting to film another look with this palette because I'm not going to be using this after Christmas is over, really. So I'm really excited to jump into this again for you guys. I actually have been using this palette for the past like 4 days already. For work and also going out. So I just really want to use it again for you guys. So for the first impressions look that I did, I stuck with using the green shades. So today we're going to be using like the warmer reddish tones because I'm wearing like a red corduroy plaid shirt from Lucky. I wear this every holiday season for work, and I am getting ready for work today. So we're going to stick with these shades here, and then I want to use Santa's star all over my lid. It's such a gorgeous like goldish flaky beautifulness, and honestly, like, it's not really like a pressed glitter at all. It's really, really pretty. I'm going to put my palette down here because I always forget that it, like, drowns out the sound if I put it on my speaker. So I already primed my eyes with my Anastasia eye primer, and then I just used my Lila B lip oil. I ran out of my ColourPop one, so I've just been using this one, and this one is really good too. And they're still out of stock with the Dewdrop lip oil on their website. So, and then I used the Dior powder just to set my eyes. So now we're going to go into the palette. So the first shade I'm going to start with is Gingerbread. I use this shade pretty much almost every time that I use this palette because it's like a light transition color basically. I mean, it's not really light, but it's such a pretty like orangey brown that is such a good crease shade for most of the looks that I do with this palette. And usually when I go in with the reds, I always start with this shade first pretty much. So I'm just going to take that shade. But I've been using this pretty much every single day since this past Friday. So I used it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and now it's Monday and I'm using it again. So I've used it like 4 or 5 times around this time this week because it's gonna be Christmas literally in like 6 days. So can you guys believe that this year is basically over? I cannot believe how, I mean, I know I say this all the time, but honestly, this year literally went by literally the fastest that any year has went in my entire life, and pretty much everybody felt the same way. It was just so bizarre. I think it's just because we were really just picking up our lives again after COVID pretty much halted everything. And I think that's why this year just went by in a flash. And honestly, I had some really good fun times with my friends this year, and I honestly I think I had a better year this year than I did last year. I really just had a blast with them. So now I'm going to do this shade right here, which is that bright red. It's such a beautiful shade, and it's called Poinsettia. And it is literally one of the most pigmented reds I've ever used before, if not my most pigmented, but it is just so opaque, and it is a really beautiful red color. And I'm that type of person that absolutely loves red looks when it comes to the holiday season. I love red and green looks too. I'm going to try and dip into this palette at least one more time before Christmas is over because I kind of need to use some of my other Christmas palettes. I have a couple of other Christmas palettes that I would like to use this week, but mainly I wanted to use this one because this is honestly my favorite. I love it so much. This and the Rudolph palette by ColourPop are like my 2 favorite Christmas palettes I've owned because this palette, like, the shimmers in here are so beautiful. So, it is a little bit sad, though, that people cannot get this palette anymore or get the Christmas palettes that they released because, and I know I've talked about this quite a bit every time I bring up these palettes or anytime I'm using them, but it's a little bit sucky that they didn't do the pre-order in December so people could have gotten them in this month. I think that's why people were a little bit upset, the fact that they even sold out before. I think that they sold out before Black Friday. So people couldn't even get them this month. But I mean, I do understand how indie brands work differently than higher end brands do, and like mainstream brands like at Sephora and Ulta. Indie brands kind of have to work faster and put out products a bit earlier because they don't really have the resources and the funds, honestly, to mass produce something so it can go out by a certain time. Like people said, they said it was kind of like due to the factory, and they might share a factory with another company. And sometimes it just depends on the factory if they can make it on time. And that's where these brands are kind of like, you know, a bit halted with production and stuff, for especially for holiday launches, that they that's why they did the pre-order, because they kind of knew that I don't think that they were going to be able to reproduce it for Christmas time. So it is what it is. It was limited edition for a reason. I mean, they did say that. It's not like they weren't clear about that. So for my outer corners, I just used hot cocoa, and now I'm just going to apply some glitter glue, and then we're going to go into the beautiful Santa Star shade. Okay, so I went ahead and applied my glitter glue. Now we're going to go in with that shimmer shade. And I just want to open up the palette again. This shade is so foiled and so gorgeous. It's almost like a little too flaky for me, but honestly, when you put it on your eyes, it's not as flaky as it is in the pan. And it spreads out so gorgeously on your eyes. Like, it's so pretty. Like I said before, these are my absolute favorite shimmers I've ever tried from Odens Eye. They really, really stepped it up. Wow, English is failing me right now. It's more like just my brain. They really stepped it up with the shimmers in this palette, and they truly created some really special shimmers in this. Like, they are absolutely stunning. Like, that is just so gorgeous. Oh, I love it. And I'm just going to put that on this eye, obviously. So, what are your plans for Christmas this year or for the holiday season? I really would love to know. I mean, I was raised Jewish, and but we've always celebrated Christmas because my dad is Christian, and Christian. Christmas is his favorite holiday. So but my dad like wasn't really like concerned if we were raised Christian, because my mom thought it was more important to raise us Jewish. And my dad didn't really care because, like, he's not really that religious, but we still celebrate Christmas because of my dad. I'm like, at least our dad is Christian. Like, even though my mom's parents were Jewish, they still did Christmas anyway. I don't know. It's just like, I mean, I'm not going to get into, like, Christianity and all of that, because sometimes they're a bunch of cray-cray idiots, but I do love Christmas time. I've always really liked it. I mean, I don't love it really, but I just get into like the Christmas season. But honestly, Christmas is not like my favorite holiday like it used to be. Like as I've gotten older, it's more so I love Halloween and Thanksgiving. Like those are definitely my favorite holidays over Christmas now. I'm not really like, oh my God, Christmas is the best holiday ever. I just get into Christmas because of the Christmas holiday releases and Christmas looks and wearing like Christmas themed like outfits to work. Like that's how I'll get into the holiday season. But kind of like I'm always setting myself up for disappointment for the gifts that I get. So that's why I'm not like in love with Christmas anymore. And I'm not saying that to be like spoiled or anything, because I'm so grateful that I'm even able to get gifts from my family and from my boyfriend and from my friends or whoever. But it's just sometimes a little bit disappointing. So I'm just going to clean up the matte shadows a little bit, and then we'll go into the face. Okay, so I just went ahead and primed with my e.l.f. Hydro Grip Primer and the Do It Spray. These are like my two favorite products this year. I love these. They're so good. I'm excited to start filming Best in Beauty soon. And I'm just going to put my hair up, and we're just going to do my face. So I have picked up like a couple of things from Ulta. Nothing too crazy, but I'm just going to use my House Labs foundation for my base. Like, I haven't picked up any new base products besides this since the VIB sale, as I drop everything. But I actually ended up returning the House Labs concealer. They don't have concealer yet, but I bet I'll love their concealer when it comes out. I returned the highlighter. I just didn't think the highlighter was anything special to justify spending $40 on it. I just didn't think it was worth that price tag. So I went and returned it. And the lady was so nice and gave me a full credit back, rather than me worrying about only getting a store credit, because their extended holiday policy started literally the day after that I bought the highlighter. And she just gave me a full credit back, so that was actually really nice of her. But I'm not returning anything else that I got from the VIB sale. I returned that, and I returned the Milk Makeup Concealer because I didn't like that concealer. And I just ended up getting a drugstore concealer that I loved, that I went and got with the 20% off that Ulta has been sending out. So I got that, and I'll show you in a minute because I'm literally going to use it in this video. I'm just so picky with concealers now. Like, there's not that many I really love anymore. And I just keep on going back to the drugstore to get concealers. It's so funny that I love drugstore concealers a lot more than drugstore foundations, because I just think that they're better. I have so many drugstore concealers that I love way more than high-end concealers. They just work better for me. I don't know why. It's just so weird, right? So did you guys pick up any holiday releases this year? Let me know, because we are getting closer to Christmas. Sorry about like the sparkle and everything underneath my eyes, but honestly that just gets fixed with concealer. So the concealer I'm going in with is the Milani concealer. I ended up repurchasing this because I kind of missed it in my collection, and after trying the Milk Makeup one, I just was not thrilled with that one at all. This concealer is still really, really good. It's kind of like a similar consistency to the Kosas concealer, but I like this concealer more because it doesn't really crease on me as much as the Kosas one does. So, and this one blends in like so easily to the skin. So I just repurchased this with the Ulta 20% off. And then I also got a highlighter from Rem Beauty. I was really intrigued on trying those. And I was going to get that with the last coupon that I had from Ulta, but then I decided not to when I was with my sister, because we went shopping when she was here for Thanksgiving at Ulta, but I just ended up getting things that I needed. So I ended up going back to Ulta, though, to get the highlighter, because I ended up returning the full-size dry shampoo that my sister said, it's a better value if you get the bigger one. And I was like, I really just don't need the big one. Like, it's not really a big deal to me for me to just go and purchase the small one when I run out of it. Like, it lasts me quite a long time to not have to buy the full size because I am actually washing my hair more often. I've been trying to make that more of a priority rather than having to rely on dry shampoo anyway. So I was like, I don't really need to keep the full size. So I just went and exchanged it for the smaller one. So I decided to get the highlighter from Rem Beauty then because I returned that. And I also returned the Maybelline Superstay Liquid Lipstick in the dark red shade. And I think I used that in a spooky get ready with me during Halloween time because I was getting ready for my friend's bachelorette party. And I ended up not really liking it, and I haven't worn it since then, and I just wasn't really that crazy about the formula, so I went and returned that too. And then I got that Rem Beauty highlighter and the Milani concealer instead. I was like, why don't I actually get what I want? So I just went and did that. So I actually went to the city a couple of days ago, and I haven't been to the city since Comic-Con, because dang, that was expensive. And I also went to the wineries like the week after that, so that was kind of a expensive 2 weeks for me. But me and my friends plan a annual karaoke trip to the city every year. But my friend actually ended up not being able to go because her and her husband ended up getting COVID like a week before that we were supposed to go, and they still weren't feeling well enough. Well, she wasn't feeling well enough because her husband doesn't go with us. So we ended up canceling karaoke because she still wasn't feeling well enough to go. Even though, like, literally the day that we were supposed to go to karaoke was the day that her quarantine was over. But she still wasn't really feeling up for going, and she still wasn't feeling well enough. Like, her sister told me, because I went with her sister, her sister's husband, and my friend. So it just ended up being us, because everybody else canceled. So we were like, but we still want to go, because we still had plans to go see Avatar in Times Square. And we were like, we still want to go see the movie. And I took off from work for this. So I still really wanted to go. See, oh my God, my base looks so good right now. Wow. I love this foundation. It's so good. And then I just sprayed with my Milk Set and Refresh spray. So we still went and saw Avatar. I just met them all in the city. I just took the train from here. And then, we went to see the movie, and then there's just like something in my eye, sorry. And then we went to get, food afterwards, because obviously we were all hungry after the movie was over. The movie was 3 hours long, so we all definitely wanted something to eat after the movie was over. I just want to make sure I grab my eyeliner that I want to use. I'm making decent timing today. I'm hoping I'll be on time to work, but, it's always a struggle for me. I just want to find my other stuff I want to use. Okay, so I just set my face with the Pat McGrath Labs setting spray powder, and then the Dior powder on my face. And now we're going to go back into the palettes. I'm going to use the shade Snowman on my inner corners. I'm not sure if I'm going to smudge anything, but I just want to use that shade first. And with these, they're a little hard to pick up with a brush to show up on the inner corners, but I think this one will work. I probably could also just spray these, but I don't know. I'm not that type of person that really loves spraying my shadows. Like, it always works for everybody else, but when I do it, it's like it just makes it too wet and doesn't even stick to where I'm trying to put it. And it annoys me, so I usually don't do that. And I also tried that wet trick that one of my friends taught me on YouTube for my mattes on my lower lash line, and that didn't really help me that much. So I don't know what it is, just my eyes do not like when I spray eyeshadow. So, but this is actually showing up great without spraying it, because I usually use these with my like pinky finger to get to adhere to my inner corners, but this is actually working out pretty well. Such a pretty shade. I really want to use all of the shimmers again, but I probably will not have time to use the other 3 that I haven't used again. Because the only 3 I haven't used again now are Snowman, Bless, and Jingle Bell on my lids. But they're super pretty. So, alright, do I want to smudge? I mean, I am going in with a red lip today, so I might not want to smudge, just not to make my eyes too over dramatic, because I really want to use a red lippy, because it's the holidays and I never use red anymore. I don't think I'm going to smudge anything. I think I'm just going to keep it like this. So we're just going to do my liner. I'm just going to use my brown liner from Makeup by Mario. Literally like my favorite liner this year. I really wish I had all of the shades. Like, it honestly makes me want to throw out all my other liners and just buy every shade of these, because these are literally my favorite liners I've ever used before. They're just so pigmented and so easy to glide on, and they don't bother your waterline at all, and they're just super pigmented. Okay, that looks really good. All right, I'm just going to clean up the eyeshadow, and then we'll do mascara and everything. Okay, so I really like how that looks. I think it looks really pretty. So now I forgot to just prime my lashes off camera, but I'm just going to do it now. And I already have to pee again before I go to work. Like, I mean, I try to drink at least 2 glasses of water every day before I go to work if I have work at 3 o'clock. But dang, it makes you pee so much. Like, stop. But I feel like I'm definitely going to have to go again before I do my lipstick, because it is definitely going to throw me off if I don't. And then I'm just going to use the Bad Gal Bang mascara by Benefit. I've just been switching off between this mascara and the Tower 28 one. I really have been loving both of them. But yeah, I haven't filmed any Best in Beauty yet, but I feel like I might be adding 1 or 2 products. I really was just trying not to try any new eyeshadow palettes this month, and honestly, like, no one has really come out with anything that thrilling for, like, kind of like a last minute holiday release. Not even ColourPop. Like, ColourPop, again, usually does come out with, like, a Disney collection during the holidays, but the Disney collection was, I think Muppets is Disney, right? I think that's Disney. They came out with the Muppets collection, and I literally wasn't even that interested in that. But that was actually their only holiday collection. Like, that's the one thing I can kind of appreciate about ColourPop, is that they don't oversaturate us with holiday releases. And they only released 1 holiday release last year, which was the Rudolph collection. And then this year they just released the Muppets collection. Even though some people were like 1, 2, 3, 4 ColourPop releases, but they really didn't release anything else. Not to my knowledge anyway. I don't remember them launching anything else for holiday. I'm just going to pee and then we're going to finish up my face. Okay, so let's finish up my face. I think for my bronzer, I'm going to go in with the bronzer from Dior, which is the Tan Bronze one. I don't know if they have this available anymore, but that's what I'm using. I don't know if these were like limited edition or whatever, but I actually have no idea. But if you want a good luxury bronzer, just buy the Gucci one, because I actually like the Gucci one more than this one anyway. I got this one with my points last week. So yeah, the city was so much fun. I hadn't seen my friends since the first week of November, so it was actually really fun to see them. And I haven't seen my friend Karen since we went to Comic-Con. No, the wineries. That was like the end of October, so... or like the middle of October. So I haven't seen her in like almost 2 months. So I was like, oh my god, I can't wait. So for my blush, I'm going to use Give Me Glow's One in a Melon. honestly, I've been thinking about using this blush again anyway, and these are literally like my favorite blushes I've tried the entire year. I reach for them a lot, and I just think that these blushes are so good. So I'm just going to go ahead and use that. I need to clean this brush off again because every time I spray it with the Ulta spray, it makes it a bit more difficult to apply my highlighter. It's a little bit annoying. All right, so I have two highlighters in front of me though. I'm not sure which one I'm gonna use. I've been using the Blend Bunny highlighting palette a lot, so I wanted to use something different today. I pulled out this older one, the Master Chrome by Face Studio highlighter in Molten Gold. This was literally everywhere. It's a fucking good highlighter though, so I think I'm just gonna use that. I'm already applying it, so it's really, really pretty. I know a lot of people talk about the Wet n Wild ones, and the Milani highlighters are bomb, but these from Maybelline are amazing too. Every single one I've tried from this line are amazing. I haven't tried like drugstore blushes in quite a while though. Like I kind of want to try some more drugstore products next year, but it's like it's hard to figure out like what highlights and what blushes you want to try when you have such a big collection. Like you also have to think about what fits in your drawer. So not that I have been like trying highlights and blushes in like excess this year. I really have been trying to buy less blushes and highlighters this year as I did last year, because I think I went pretty blush crazy last year. There was just a bunch of like formulas that I wanted to try, and now I might buy like one blush a month or one highlighter a month. I really have just been trying to buy less blushes and buy less highlighters, but I also have decluttered quite a lot, so we can't disregard that either. Oh my god, this is driving me nuts. Okay, I'm just going to do my brows off camera and then we'll do my lips. Okay, so I just went ahead and lined my lips off camera, and I used the Disney Hocus Pocus ColourPop lip liner in Come We Fly. This is actually the only red lip liner that I own still, and it's still a really good one, so it's a good bright red one. And then for my lips, I'm going to go in with the Glamlite Red Velvet what is it called? Yeah, Red Velvet liquid lipstick. I haven't used this in so long, and this is like the perfect holiday red because it literally came out with their Christmas collection. Oh, that's so pretty. Excuse me. This is just such a super smooth formula. And there's something about this lippy that makes it like a little bit more wearable. I don't know what it is. It's just such a gorgeous red lippy. I haven't worn a red lippy in so long. And usually the only time I wear one now is during the holidays. I think the last time I wore this was like for a holiday collab last year, and I didn't even wear it out. Holiday collab. Holiday collab. I was actually going to wear Creeper from ColourPop, but I was like, why don't I just wear the holiday one that I have? Duh. This one doesn't really like have a cupcake smell to it, like a cake batter kind of smell. It kind of smells more like almond-y. Like it smells like warm pecans. And it smells really good still. It still gives you like a holiday feeling when you smell it. It basically smells like pecan pie. All right, that is pretty much it. I think it looks pretty good. The Slippy is so perfect. I love it. And it's such an amazing formula. It's so lightweight and it's such a gorgeous color. But nobody talks about the Glam Light lippies enough. Everybody talks about the eyeshadows, but their lippies are amazing. All right, that's pretty much it, you guys. Okay, you guys, so this is the finished look. Here are the eyes, the cheeks, and the lips. I really love how this look turned out. I'm really obsessed with this red lippy, and I think it just tied it all together. So please like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at CBW819 and check out my Poshmark. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if I don't see you guys or film a video before Christmas, which I think I'm going to, yeah, I probably am going to film another video after this. But I hope you guys are having a great week, and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Love you. Bye.